In this video, we will introduce the routing feature in Actframework. So routing is literally about route a request to a certain action handler. And there are three mechanisms we provided to support the routing in Actframework. They include the annotation-based routing, route table, and API configured routing. Alright, let's try to check them one by one. Okay. As usual, we'll download the Hello World application skeleton and use it as a start. Okay, obviously we have downloaded that before. And we got a project. So CMake project routing. Okay. And open our IntelliJ. I'll probably compile that first. Okay, we will import our new projects from the routing. So the first one is annotation-based routing. We got different kinds of action annotation. Here's the first example, that is get action. But we haven't specified the path in the annotation. The default value is actually empty, which means you get that. So take this out, and I'm just trying to run it. So here that route us to the action handler home, which will render template hello world. And let's do something more. Before that, take a look at the annotation-based routing. So I will introduce different kinds of action annotations. I'm going to introduce what is URL context, and what is the path, and what is absolute path. Sorry, it's not abstract, it's absolute. And then I'm going to introduce how to inherit your URL context from parent controller. So let's come back and create a controller method. Controller A, call it controller A. And before that, I'll try to install Postman. I just pause my video recording until I have get the Postman installed. Right now I got my Postman installed, and I will just go straight to the application and leave it here. Come back to my IntelliJ, and I'll add a few more routes and action handlers. So this one I'll call it action, get action, route A. And this one I'll call it post action. And then try next. See. This time I'll try put action. Actually, to make it easy, I'll just call it. It's called or route A. Get A. Call it post A. Put A. And last one is put A. So let's put A, post A. Alright, let's try it. And our port is by default 5460 and route A. Give us route A and name post A, that's correct, and put A and delete A. So we got all of them. At the moment, Actframework supports 4 kinds of actions, and here's one interesting stuff. All in one. Turn all in one. So I say, I just call it action. So I say, oh, and give me all in one. But I can change my HTTP request method. Get, post, put, and we've already seen delete. And I can try something new, that is some. So I will say action. But now my method is method. Oh my god. Get. Okay, it's a bit slow. Method put. So I would say this action we handle only get and put methods and route sum. And let's try it. So I'll call delete. I won't get anything because we don't have that. We don't have that route. So your sum is only hooked to get and put as per your application specified. So I can do get sum, I can do put sum, but I can't do post sum. Neither can I do delete sum. Okay. We see this error message because we are running in the div mode. If we're running in the product mode, we're not going to see the route table here. Okay. So that is about action annotations. Now let's take a look at the URL context. So here we don't have any URL context, so it starts from the beginning. And if we take out the route slash, it will be pretty much the same. So if I say route A, it'll give me the del A, and if it's get, it'll give me our route A, which is correct. And obviously I should change it to get A and try again. Get A. That's correct. Now I want to add a context here. I say this is a controller. The context is starting from A. So now I take that A out. Come back to our post. Obviously I'll get 404. But if we say A route, I'll get that. And same as others. Okay, so this A is the URL context, which is specified by controller A. Okay, so that is about URL context. And now the path. These are the paths. For all the action annotation, you can specify the path. And what is the absolute path? The absolute path starts with the slash, /. And let's say if I got the absolute path, then the context will not be effective. So if I post, that's correct. But if I put where I specify the absolute path for the put, that will give me nothing. So I got to remove the context, and then I got it back. So this is the absolute path, which starts with the /. Okay. And now what is the URL context? The URL context means if I inherit some of the other controllers. For example, if I say I have a controller base, in my controller base I would like to say you got a controller and this is service. So you have the API and you have version 1, and if our controller A extends controller base, or probably we rename it as a service base version 1. Okay. And then a service base starts with API version 1. And if I go this, I still got that. Why? Because the path is absolute for the put. But if we take this absolute path out, I'm not going to get anything. Even if I add context of controller A, it's still not working unless we say this is API version 1 and then /a/route. Then I'm going to get it. So we say this is a context concatenated from your parent controller. So this is the parent controller, or you call it a base controller. And that is the context set by the base controller and your controller A. You're not starting with this /, but if you start with /, then this one will not going to work. And you have to say, okay, my context absolute path starts from A, and then it will work. Okay. Now it will not. We have to put back our API v1. Okay. So this is about an annotation-based routing. We have introduced the different action methods, and we have introduced what is the URL context, and what is the path, and what is the absolute path. And then we introduced the URL context inheritance. And now the route table. Let's play a little bit with the route table. So route table, it says I can create a route table. We've already have a routes table here. The route table is routes.conf, sit under the resources folder. So I'll say get route X, and I can put in the full path to controller A dot method is post A. I'll just call it route table. I say I'll get route X to and have the post A to handle that. And let's test it. Route X. It doesn't work because we are on put. Let's put back into get. Yeah, now we got the post. So that is the route table. And there are other stuff for route table other than using the action handler class and methods. We actually got some directives. For example, I say hi, and I say echo colon hi. And now let's go to here. Say hi. Give me hi. That is the echo. I can echo a certain code. So suppose you are applying a new certificates on your domain, and it asks you to put in some of the special token, and you say whatever that token is, and then you immediately got the token and you can echo it back. Here we are. And the next directive is redirect. Okay. So this time we're going to say get go Google, and we say redirect.com. I want to go Google send. Right. Now what it is. So that doesn't make sense. Let's try it in the browser. That's correct. Give me Google. And then the next one is redirect dir. So what redirect dir means is suppose I'm got an image and I say redirect dir, and I want to put in some of the stuff here. GitHub.com Actframework doc. I just grab a dir here. So say I want to redirect that image to this dir. Okay. Now I'll copy this and I'll say localhost image. Now give us this. That is the redirect dir. And next one is file. File really means you can load a file from within your project folder. So now because I'm running the div mode, so my project folder is here, and can say I want to get a file source. I want to say file source. I'll make it easier, so I say bin. So I gotta run. Let's say localhost bin run. Doesn't work. So where is dot source bin? When it starts from the div mode, that should be target. I'll try our target one. Okay, I'll try classes. Version. Now classes. That doesn't work. try this. Yeah. And I'll check it offline. And let's move to the next one, because next one is much more frequently used than the file one, because resource means it will just load all the stuff under your resource. So I want to say, alright, app version. So I'll say resources. The resource, okay. And try it. Yeah, it gives me app version. Here we go. So that is the resource. And also I got external file, which is very dangerous. So I want to say get password, an external file, DC password. So that is very dangerous. Here we are. We get all these stuff. Okay. So these are about the route table and the different directives. And finally, we still got an API to hook a very simple action handler to your application. For example, I want to say go here, but it is very important to understand that when you hook that action handler to a certain route, you got to trigger that on a method, and you have to annotate that method with a certain event. So this one is an application start. Let's try it. So I say void hook additional routes. And now, so this is on app start, and let's say act.get. This is a get non-block because it's going to be super fast. Bye. What is that API? So that will be context, okay? Context. Response dot write content by Spring. So the language level, we gotta change the language level from in our POM file. And okay, so this is going to be 1.8. Re-import, and it should be okay now. Let's try it. Bye. By Spring. That's correct. Alright, so this is about all the stuff I wanted to introduce about the routing in Actframework. Thanks for watching the video.